people that are running, and I'm using some of the route so that people understand that you will be running through here.
Oh, okay.
If you choose to run a half marathon or a full marathon, you can do it. I mean, we're doing some of the routes, and this marathon will not have a time cap,
Okay.
meaning
When you
anybody
finish, you finish.
when you finish, you finish. So the guy who finishes at 3 hours and 50 minutes is going to get the same medal that the guy that finishes at 8 hours. And that's the goal. The goal is to complete a marathon. You know what I'm preaching right now to the public. If anybody would like to come and learn how to jog and walk, we will be walking and jogging 26.2 miles at December 11th. We will be completing a marathon, whether it be walking, jogging, and running. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. The morning groups that come in. As a child, my parents moved back to Brownsville, where my grandmother was from, and so I grew up in Brownsville.
And your family at that time were involved in what enterprises?
Yeah, my grandfather was in the trucking business, and at that time they haul citrus fruit and cotton in the trucks. And then back in the 1950s, early 60s, he became a part of the government program that would he used the trucks to take the braceros to the north, the harvest, during harvest season.
Like to Michigan and...
Michigan, Indiana, Oklahoma,
Okay.
north,
So-
Colorado.
So he would just transport them, or did he manage them?
Well, at the end of he would take them up, and then at the end of the harvest season, they would come. They would go and pick them up and bring them back to the border,
Okay.
and then they would put them in buses, and they would head home into Mexico.
Okay. Do you think that would be a good program today?
I think that would be excellent.
Insurance company logos as well.
I
Can't miss it.
I absolutely see how in your world people need your guidance. It is not something that you can just read up on and get.
No.
I mean, I'm a professor, and I retired, and I mean, I still work, but when I reached that point where I had to have Medicare, I was lost. And I got the booklet, and I read it. I said, I don't know what this is telling me. I don't understand. So I went over to the personnel office, and they just said, given your profile, you need to do this. Sign here. And so I just put my trust in them, as I'm sure people would trust in you to guide them properly. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you have this option provided locally. And it's really important that people be able to come in and sit and talk to someone directly.
Locally, yeah. Especially near the end of the year when the open enrollment comes, they are going to be receiving a lot of phone calls from agents from other cities, other states, and trying to offer them other benefits. I would say be very careful what you say, because I've had members call me up before and tell me, somebody switched me without my consent. I didn't say yes to anything, and before you know it, they're enrolled. But there's ways around it. We can help them.
On my way here, on my drive from Los Fresnos to the studio, I got a call.
Really?
From India, wanting to talk to me about Medicare and my options.
Wow.
And And I said, well, and then I had trouble getting in to say I'm covered, I'm fine, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
They just keep.
Yeah, no. But I honestly feel like, I've questioned myself, like, why is this fear factor sticking with us to the point where it's becoming our definition? It's becoming part of us. And I sort of feel that it's coming so much from our local population. And then I started thinking, well, why is that? But, we're a string of small towns. And, small towns talk is
Yeah.
what happens. And I feel like in a small town, if somebody gets killed, murdered, or something violent happens to them, you probably know them. Probably somebody knows them. It's so much more personal than if you were in a big city. Here's a really good example, because all of this has been in my mind. So I'm like, just happened to have the TV in the background, and I hear this murder rate thing that they're talking about for Philadelphia. And they're saying in the first 3 weeks of 2022, this year, so that means January's not even over, it's the first 3 weeks of January, they already had 38 murders in Philadelphia. And I started thinking, wow, we might have 38 murders in 38 years. We don't even have one murder per year. And the odd thing is, no one's afraid to go to Philadelphia, but they're afraid to come here.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. But in Philadelphia, 38 people could get murdered, and